as my last vlog will show you, I recently finished the Powerless Trilogy, plus novella. I also read the novella. And I just kind of wanted to do a review of the series as a whole. I will talk about, like, each book individually, and then I will end on, a review of all of it together. So, let's jump right into that. First, I will be talking about Powerless, the first book in the series. I rated this book a 3-star. In the beginning, it didn't feel as original to me, I guess. You could very much see the influences of other books in this book. That did start to dwindle as you went through the book and as you finished the series, thankfully. But I felt like the writing wasn't quite there in the first book. I read it so long ago, there's not really a whole lot I can say about it. Let me check my Goodreads review of it really quick. We'll see what I said about it. Yeah, so I said the book is rather predictable. The writing could have been a little more sophisticated, but it was an overall good story. Okay, yeah. So I liked the character evolution, the switch from rivals to what I, at the time, thought was enemies. It was a good starter. Like, it kicked off the rest of the series, so I think that for what it is, it was pretty good. I am going to talk about the novella next, because I really feel like the novella should be read after that first book. So, I do have a lot to say about this one. Prepare for that. The novella Powerful is, like, book number 1.5, if you will. This book is what made me want to read the rest of the series. I think that the writing was elevated in Powerful. You could really see the, like, maturity change a little bit in the writing, in my opinion. I did give it a 4 stars. It still felt, I think, just a little young to me. Not in, like, content, but in, like, writing level, like, reading level-ish. I'm not actually sure if these books... Wait. Now I have to look this up. Powerless age rating. Okay, well, I can understand it now. It says that it is recommended for readers 14 years and older, so I'm obviously older than 14. I am 11 years older than 14, to be exact. So maybe that could be why. I don't know. I feel like even at 14, a lot of books were written in a much more, like, sophisticated way than these ones were, but Powerful pulled on my heartstrings quite a bit. I would have loved to have an entire series about just Adina, I'll be honest. Adina was... I wouldn't say she was relatable to me personally, but Adina was just so light. I guess I can describe her that way. Like, she was that little bit of, like, fluff in amongst the harshness of everything else. And I feel like she just... her purposefully finding the good in everything was a very stark contrast to the attitudes of other characters in the series. So seeing that part of the story was very different. And I think when you're able to see both sides of that love, it's harder to think about the things that happen in the series. Reading Adina find love in other places was also very heartwarming. I really loved that. I don't want to spoil anything because I all of my reviews, my vlogs are spoiler free. I hate spoiling things for people, but it's so hard for me to not talk about specific moments. So I have to slow down and really think about what I'm saying about them. I just loved Adina, I think. I just really loved Adina. I want a spin-off series of just Adina and Mac. Just give me the both of them. That's all I really want. Because of, what happens in the series, I'm not sure if that would even be a possibility, but I'm sure Lauren would find a way. Let's just move on to Reckless so that I don't start talking about specific things and spoiling things. Reckless, I also gave a 4-star rating. The book felt very drawn out, I will say. It felt very much like a filler book, but in the best way possible. There was a whole lot of just relationship formation, character development, learning about characters' pasts, all this crazy stuff. And I liked how it was presented. I liked being able to see this other part of the world that everybody else sees as uninhabitable, but is... I apologize, my dad got home and I wanted to say hi and ask him about something that I want to put up in my room. Anyways, the places that we are seeing in this book are very uninhabitable to the regular person, but they are such a utopia to some others, and I really, really like that aspect of it. It's very, very, I don't even know how to say it. I'm at a loss of words, basically. It's just we see such a difference in views, in feelings, in opinions at the end of that book. My mic died and I had to grab my other one. It's just never ending. Anyways, there's just such a change in the second book, and I think that's what I liked about it so much. And then we got to the end, and it just it threw me for a loop, I have to say. It had me hopeful. And maybe that's why I give it 4 stars, because it gave me hope. And I wanted I wanted it to be true. But then the third book had to come along and tear my heart out, so we'll talk about that book and how it crushed my hopes and dreams. Fearless also received a 4-star rating from me. This book was so close to being a 5-star. And then I got to the end, and the ending did absolutely nothing for me. I won't say that it was disappointing, but it was not what I was hoping for. I wanted there to be more substance to the ending. Like, I wanted it to mean something, to, like, I feel like it was so quick, but not in a good way. Like, it was just kind of thrown in there. It was forced. Like, they just wanted it to end. And it did not feel like it was the right time for that end, I guess, in my opinion. The like, middle part of the book literally had me in tears. Like, snot running from my nose kind of tears. And at that point I was like, wow, this book is actually a 5-star. Like, this is amazing. And then I get through that and I get within the last, like, 150 pages and I'm like, okay, never mind. How can you tear my heart out and squeeze it and then just have nothing? I don't get it. I definitely feel like it wasn't the right time for the ending, and it was just too forced. And that was why this one was only a 4-star. I really wanted it to be a 5-star. If a book has me actually crying, like, I'm generally a very unemotional person. I don't really outwardly show emotion much. At least not with, like, that kind of stuff. Very stoic when I read things. I've read some, like, really sad stuff and just been like, oh yeah, that's sad. But I don't cry normally, and this book made me cry. Like, in a terrible way. And I wish it would have finished strong. But sadly it didn't. So, that's Fearless. Let's move on to the overall rating. Overall, I am giving the series a 4-star rating. Woohoo! It had really, really good parts. It had parts that I didn't like so much. And I'm not, like, that mad about it. Like, I think that for the age range the books are made for, it's really good. I think that it has good messages. I think that it shows the value in finding your own power and finding your own destiny and that kind of stuff. I love that message. I just think it could have been more. I would definitely recommend this to people who want to read fantasy but don't want the, like, adult side of fantasy that is now a thing in a lot of fantasy books. It's a really good, like, no spice, no adult content fantasy book. I do enjoy that about it. It was definitely a book that didn't need any of that. And I love that it didn't rely on something like that to further the plot, because I feel like a lot of romantic-y books do that. Like, they rely on the spice to further plot. I don't really like that most of the time. So I appreciate that it was not like that. I do recommend it. Give it a read. I have a vlog for each book, so you can enjoy those. I might link them. Who knows? I might forget to. But that is my review of the Powerless Trilogy. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm not sure what's coming up next. Let me look on the sketch. Oh, a nice little vlog is coming next. So I hope you enjoy this vlog coming up. I will see you next time. Happy reading. Goodbye.